Holy damn, holy balls, oh my lord. So recently I uploaded a new makeup releases, and in that new makeup releases I talked about Viseart and how I hadn't tried anything from the brand and I wasn't sure and blah blah blah. Anyway, I think nearly every single comment, no joke, nearly every single comment I got on that video was telling me how much I would personally love Viseart, and also how much Viseart is actually amazing and that I really need to be getting on the Viseart train. So naturally, I went out and purchased a Viseart palette.
I saw Katie Heron wearing army pants and flip-flops, so I bought army pants and flip-flops.
Now, I did purchase the Viseart Paris Love Letter palette. It is the newest release from them. A lot of you guys recommended like the bigger matte palettes and everything. You girl can't afford them right now. So I figured this was a very nice introduction to Viseart, shall we say. So we're going to review the new Viseart Paris Love Letter palette today. I have actually been testing this palette out for the last couple of days. It is not a first impression, so I do have some opinions on the palette. So I'm going to give you those. I'm going to give you my thoughts on the formula. Is it really as good as y'all said it was? We're going to create a look together, and that's pretty much it. You know the drill. So before we go ahead and get started, let's do the YouTubey things. You can go ahead and give this video a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you enjoy watching me. Thank you so much if you do. I mean, I know I'm a lot. It's a wild ride around here, so I appreciate it. And let's just get started. Okay, so this is the palette right here. This is like the packaging of the actual eyeshadow palette, and then this is the unit carton that the palette itself comes in. And I do kind of like that it has the picture of the palette on the front of the unit carton, and then on the back it actually has all of the shades and like the shade colors and the names of it. So I do really like that. So other little details about this palette. This is $44 US. It works out to be about 59 Australian dollars, I'm pretty sure. I got mine off Beautylish because they had this palette released quickly. I think Sephora in Australia barely has any Viseart kind of products, so Beautylish is the place to go if you want to pick that up. You can also purchase off the Viseart website directly. It's just that Beautylish has free shipping, that's all, you know. So let me go ahead and drop my lights for you guys, and I'm going to show you the packaging and the inside of this palette. So it is a very small kind of palette. You can even see against my hand it's quite small. Just for a fun fact, I do have small hands, so it is a smaller palette. If you're expecting to purchase this and thinking it's going to be quite large, it's not the case, but it is very cute. And again, actually, I'll get into that in a second. So how you open this palette is it has this little magnetized kind of ribbon right here, which I do also really like. I think that's quite cute. And then it opens up, so it has your mirror, and then it opens up to look like this. Now mine's a little bit dirty because, like I said, I have been playing around with this palette for the last few days, but this is the color scheme inside. It is very pretty. The other thing that's really cool about Viseart is that each one of these eyeshadow pans can come out and they're magnetized. So you are able to kind of, if you have all of the other palettes that they have in this collection, or even if you just want to create your own, like if you have an empty Z palette or something like that, doesn't have to be empty, you know what I'm trying to say. You can pull these little eyeshadows out and you can pop them into other palettes, so you can really kind of create and curate your own either Viseart palette with all of their little ones that they've got like this, or other shadows kind of thing. So that's really cool. They kind of really, I don't know, they cater really, it's kind of reminds me like a little bit of like Lethal Cosmetics, where it's like, you know, create your own adventure, if you will. So I do really like that about this palette, and I like that it is so small, because in normal times, actually let me rewind a second. This palette kind of reminds me, maybe apart from the green, but every other color in this palette reminds me, it's like very classic, very chic. It's almost like, it reminds me of Chanel, like Audrey Hepburn, just like that really like understated, you know, those really cool girls that just look really absolutely flawlessly beautiful and their makeup is really gorgeous and subtle, but like it's just effortless. That's what this palette reminds me of. That's exactly what this palette reminds me of. So when I kind of pulled it apart, I was like, this is actually a really beautiful palette for me in particular for work, because these are the kinds of tones, again, maybe taking away the green, these are the kinds of tones that I would literally wear every day to work, and it would just be like a one and done look. So that is why I picked this palette up. Also, it's the newest release, so I thought, you know, one and done. I'll give you guys a review on a new release in case you're interested. Now, the reason why I like that this is so small, going off the fact that I think this is a really nice everyday effortless glam palette, is that if you are someone that is going to work when we can travel again, But even just like if you're going from work to a dinner or something like that, this palette is so small that you would actually be able to throw it in your handbag and off you go. And the mirror, I'm not going to blind you with it, but the mirror is a really good quality mirror as well. So you could really throw this in your handbag, you know, with your mascara and a lip, and, you know, go from transition that from day to night. Or like if you were going from, say, the gym to work, then you would be able to just throw this in your handbag and kind of complete your makeup. So I think that they've really nailed it in terms of like an everyday like makeup wearer, if that kind of makes sense. They've nailed that kind of vibe and aesthetic, and they've made it really easy. Hopefully that kind of makes sense. I don't know if it does, but hopefully it does. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom you guys in really nice and close. I'm going to give you guys swatches of the shimmer shades. I'm not going to do mattes. I can't swatch mattes for the life of me. But I'm going to give you swatches of the shimmer shades because they are so pretty and you need to see them. And then we are going to create a look. And as I create the look, I'm going to tell you guys what I think about this formula. Okay, howdy hey, howdy ho. So you're zoomed in nice and close. I'm keeping my lights down low so that you guys can really see what the true colors are of these shades in this palette. And here are the swatches of this particular palette. So again, I'm really bad at swatches, okay, judgment free zone. So this is the first shade here. Actually, let me tell you the shade name. So this first shimmery shade right here is called Beloved. And then right next to it here, you've got Charmed, and then the green one is Blooming, and then you've got that pinky one, which is Poem, and then the purple Amour, and then the kind of grey one right here, which is Ballad. So they're kind of all after like love letters. This whole palette is supposed to be like romantic and love lettery. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to quickly go and create an eye look on this eye first because I don't really know what I'm going to do today. And then that way, when I come back and do this eye, I'm going to be able to talk you through what I'm doing, but also kind of how I feel about the shadows and kind of give you my review on the actual formula and like whether I think y'all are actually telling me the truth when you were saying that I should buy the Viseart palettes. And yeah, so give me 2 seconds. Okay, so let's go ahead and create this eye look on here so that I can tell you what I think about this formula, etc. And so that you can see how I created this look if you're interested. Hopefully you're interested. The first shade that I took was this peach color right here, just on my BH Cosmetics like marble blending brush, and I just kind of initially patted this shade in because I just put my Nars eye primer on just to kind of create or almost like set the primer is what I'm trying to spit out here. And I'm just going to take this color right here on my Delium Tools 776 brush. So the thing that you need to know about this formula is that, like I said, how it has a lot of fallout in the pan, it also has a lot of fallout like when you pick up the shade. So what that means is you need to be very, very light-handed and use like less is more approach. So start with less shadow on the brush and slowly build it up. There are some, I mean, I feel like, again, I'm not a professional makeup artist, so I'm not 100% certain, but I do think that you're supposed to probably do that with most of the, like most eyeshadows, you're supposed to start small and build. But there are some eyeshadow palettes that you can kind of get away with picking up a little bit more color and it will just like easily blend out. And I'm not saying that these won't, because they will. Like you can actually just see real time how easily that blended out. It's very, very similar formula to the Natasha Denona Glam palette and the Luna Beauty Eclipse palette. That's the very, very similar formula that I get. I actually would even say that these shadows are a touch easier to blend out than them, which is saying something because you know I love those two palettes. Now I'm picking up this dark brown color right here on a BH Cosmetics Rose Quartz brush is what I'm trying to spit out there. This is just like a really small blending brush. So I'm just going to lightly pack this on to the outer corner. But honestly, these mattes are stunning. The biggest recommendation that I got from you guys with the Viseart palettes was their mattes. Mostly you guys talked about how amazing especially their like the Pro matte palettes are, the kind of all matte neutral palettes. You guys mostly talked about how incredible they are, and if they're anything like this formula, I can actually see why you guys were like, you will love this and you need this. This is the matte formula in here is what I'm trying to spit out here. What I'm trying to spit out here is this matte formula. Holy damn, holy balls, oh my lord, so good. So good. This palette is a really, really good palette, especially for the mattes. If you are a beginner to eyeshadow, you just can't really screw this up, to be completely honest with you. Like, you're really going to have to try hard to get this to like not work for you. Here's where things kind of take a little bit of a turn for me. So I'm going to take this shade right here, which is like the peachy shade. Now you can even just see from this pan how kind of crumbly of a formula this peach shade is. It really is just like chunky glitter Fallout City. So if you're going to use it, make sure you wet your brush, or 100% do your eyes first, and then just really slowly tap it on to your eye. Don't drag it because it doesn't like that. I did that the other day and it made it mad, and I just got glitter everywhere. And I really recommend wetting this shade because honestly, yesterday when I created a similar eye look to this, basically all I did was put the lighter tan shade over my eye and then just kind of use this peach shade as a topper because I was just going out for like brunch. And by the end of the day, I had glitter all over my face. So I do really recommend wetting this peach shade if you can. Or if you're kind of like out, you know, going from the gym to work or something, you're like, well, I'm not going to do that. Then just at least if you wanted to put like a little bit of concealer down and maybe just like get it to stick onto your eye, then you're going to have a better experience. At least if you have hooded eyes like me. If you don't have hooded eyes, it's probably going to be fine. Now I'm going to take this little pink color right here, and this one is a lot more metallic. So what I noticed from this palette is these two shades here are quite crumbly, and then these shades are really just more, and this shade right here are just more like that traditional metallic formula. So you're not going to have the same issue. I still wet my brush with them, but you're not going to have the same issue that you will with that green and that peach shade. I'm not saying that the formula is bad in either of the peach or the green shade, because it's not. It's very, very beautiful. All I'm saying is that you really will need to wet it or put like down a glitter primer or something, like a glitter glue primer or something like that. I'm going to go and finish my face. I'm going to come back and we're going to finish up the lower lash line and kind of wrap up my thoughts on this particular palette, because believe it or not, I do have some other thoughts. So stay tuned. So face makeup is done. Let's go ahead and finish up this lower lash line. You know what I'm going to do if you've seen any of my reviews. I'm taking this color right here, and then I'm taking this color, and I'm just going to just put them lightly underneath my eye here because that's what I do. I'm also just going to take this color right here for my inner corner. I'm just going to put that right in here like so, just for a little pop-a-roo. And then I've already put mascara and black eyeliner on my top lash line. I'm just gonna go ahead and put some mascara on my lower waterline, and then I will be right back. Okay, so this is the finished makeup look using the Viseart Paris Love Letter palette. So wrapping up my thoughts on this palette. I personally think if you are a beginner to eyeshadow, or if you are someone that just wants a little eyeshadow palette that you can just like pop in your handbag, or it's just small, doesn't take up a lot of room in your bathroom, that kind of a thing, that you want something that's going to easily blend out, you can have versatility with like of looks with, but like your aesthetic is like that soft glam, this is a really good option for you. You guys weren't lying. You really weren't. You've done it. I now want all of the Viseart palettes. You've done it. You've done it. So thank you to everyone who commented on my last video about Viseart. You know I'm going to go and start collecting all of these now. Let me know. I mean, I know most of you love Viseart. So, but yeah, let me know. Are you going to pick up this palette? Let me know what other Viseart palettes I really, 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 really just have to have and try. And yeah. That's it for this video. If you have watched until this point, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I truly just appreciate it, especially if you've made it to this point. I hope you have an amazing day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you next time. Bye.